This is JCNA 007. What is up, guys? Welcome back here to a brand new NBA Live mobile video. It's your boy JCNA 007 today. We got ourselves another banger video. So instead of doing a typical review on a player, I'm going to do Throwback JCNA. We're going to do one of those videos where I determine whether it's worth it or not, and you guys in the comments down below put also your own opinion on what I think as well. So anyway, before we get started, I do have an NBA Live mobile giveaway currently going on, so I'll leave a link to that video on the top description below. Everything, all the details are in that video, giving away some really dope players, so I do recommend entering that if you have not already. So in addition, I'll be going away on spring break for the next couple days or so I do apologize if there are no daily uploads or if I'm not up to date with all the live content and stuff like that, but I got some uploads there for you guys, so do not worry. But anyway, today we're doing the worth it or not for the worm Dennis Rodman. So you guys saw under your spring tab, probably a couple days for now, it was on the really bottom of it, and it said the worm was coming, you got to prepare a lot of eggs for it. So that's what they have. So predicted right, it is a Dennis Rodman. Very cool that NBA Live Mobile added this to the game, so credits to them for adding a Dennis Rodman in the game. You guys know Dennis Rodman. I know some of you guys are younger, you guys might not know about him, but he's in the Michael Jordan era, very good teammate of his, and very good, outstanding defensive player. He's always got funky hair, which is what he's known for, hence why he's got different masters based on the color hair he has. And yeah, nowadays he's got a pretty interesting character, I have to say, and you know, he hangs out with people in North Korea sometimes, but that's aside, that's maybe a different story. We're going to go right into it. I got the calculation stuff. So this is based off now. The prices may, fluctuate. They might probably drop a little bit. My guess that's what will happen, but ultimately we'll see what happens by this time. So at this time of this video, Elite Trophies earlier this morning on April 10th, they were going for around 40K, which is expensive. Okay, that's pretty expensive. But for this Get the Worm, to get the whole thing started for this 85 overall Dennis Rodman, you only need 2 Elite Trophies, which will only cost you 30K each. So it's around 60K to complete this first set, give or take that you don't have anything stored in your actual, inventory, or, you happen to have gold, you trade them in for whatever, gold trophies, trade them in for elite trophies. Let's just say you're just straight up buying this card. So 60K for the first one. So now you got to feed the worm, make him bigger, got to make him to this nice 90 overall power forward Dennis Rodman card. As you can see, he's on the Pistons uniform, which is pretty cool. So his card, there's his stats, guys. You guys see the defense is obviously his most prominent stat out of all of them. He's not the best shooter. In my opinion, I prefer a shooting power forward because when I drive in with my point guard, actually, my power forward kind of tends to stay on that outside three-point line, if you guys know what I mean. And I do like to shoot that triple. So obviously he doesn't have the best three-point shot, which is a downside to him. But I do think his defensive master is the best one to go with. So you're adding 60K, right? So now you're going to add 10 more elite trophies, 30K each. That's going to be 300K. You're going to add the Yolk. The Yolk collectibles, as you can see, you can use the Easy Incubation set, which is just an egg as well as a trophy or something? No, actually a bronze player and a silver egg, or just a regular egg collectible. And you get yourself most likely you'll get yourself a Yolk out of it, or you could potentially get a chicken, or even a colored one, which is a really bonus for you. But the Yolks, they go on average for 1.5K. I might have the wording on the screen for you guys so you guys can see. And you're multiplying that by 25, and a chicken goes for around 5K. It goes for a little bit more, but we're going to say a little 5K. And obviously this is without sniping, first of all. So sniping, you obviously could get lower prices, but 5K times 5 obviously will get you 25K. Add that all up, get yourself 362,500 coins for this one. So pretty expensive for a 90 overall card, okay? Considering the prices right now in the auction house are fairly cheaper. So now you got to feed the worm even more to the 93. So this is kind of like your tier 3 stage before your master card. So this is a 93 overall shooting lineup power forward. As you can see, that defensive stat just keeps going higher, 93 defense, which is really nice. And he's a pretty good power forward at the shooting lineup. So you could even just use the straight up 93 version as your starter. But anyway, adding on to the more money, more coins, okay? It's going to be 25 elite trophies, multiply that by 30K. I'll have the math on the screen for you guys. The Yolk is going to be 50 times 1.5K, 1,500, and your chicken is going to be 10,000 times 5, which is going to be 50,000. That's going to rack up to 87,500 or 875,000 coins. My bad. 875,000 coins. So that's quite a bit, right? That's just specifically for this card, and you're not really taking in effect the previous cards yet. So it's just all, pretty much you're just counting the trophies, the yolk, and the chicken is going to cost you 875k for this Dennis Rodman card. So now you're up to your masters. So you got a couple different masters. These sets, in terms of prices wise, they do not fluctuate that much. So you got the leopard one, which is your two-way. You got a rainbow one. I do like the rainbow one. The look is pretty dope for the big man lineup. And you also got your green one for your small ball. You got an orange for your defensive, kind of matching that orange defensive color. And you got your red for the shooting one. So obviously the stats, there's 50 shooting. I'm not so sure if the stats are different. Let's see. So it looks like it's just a base stat. It just really depends. All the stats are the same, but it just depends what lineup you want. My opinion, I think the defensive one is the best one to go with in terms of lineup wise, because of other options. Dennis Rodman is your top choice at this moment, so he's the one to go for. But anyway, for this one, it's going to cost you a bit. Okay, let's just say for this one, for example, trophies, you're going to be 50 times 30k. Quite a bit already. The chicks, okay? The chicks are going to range anywhere pretty much 200k, 150k, 200k, or even more, okay? So we're going to calculate that. I don't really know what number I chose. I think I chose 200k just to be on the safe side, you know, depending on which one's cheaper or not. And we also got more chickens, so that's chickens is going to cost 100k in total, and the yolks are going to be costing around 150k, which is 1.5k times 100 for the yolks. So you're going to add everything up together. It's going to cost you around 4.15 million coins to complete this entire master. But now you're adding up the rest of them. You're adding up the rest of the tiers here. Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3, and then your master is going to cost you around 5 million. A little more, like 5.5 million is going to cost you for this Dennis Rodman card. And, you know, that might not be that bad. It's going to take a grind, obviously, because the yolks may be expensive, and you might have to wait a little bit for this because there's a time limit on this set. So that might be your issue. But I'm going to go back into the auction house to show you guys exactly what the prices are actually going for. So we're going to go in 96 overall. There's not many 96 on the market. And you guys can see, I'll just type in Rodman and his card. His card is not, you know, on my auction house. So I believe auction house 1, there's not a lot of him on there. So as you can see, every single one is expensive. 30 million plus, okay? You're talking, if this only cost around 5-something million to build, if I'm not mistaken, maybe a little more or a little less, it really depends. You're getting a good profit margin if you're able to sell it at this price. I've not seen one sold yet exactly for this price, but it's very likely that it could, you know, sell. But talking about other cards as well. 96 overall, we're talking specifically power forward. You got this Blake Griffin. If he's cheaper, honestly, his stats are probably going to be better in terms of shooting-wise. I would prefer Blake Griffin. In terms of small ball lineup, I prefer Christian Laettner because 91 three-pointer, you can't really pass by that. In two-way lineup, you can't really pass by a 71 three-pointer and a really well-rounded card for Anthony Davis, who just has pretty good defense as well. A 91 defense, can't complain about that. That's only 5 less than the Dennis Rodman card. And Danny Manning here, obviously very solid card overall. Very good shooting card. I do prefer his shooting over someone like Dennis Rodman. It's really up to you. I mean, there's not a lot of options for 96 plus overalls in terms of power forward positions. So that's pretty much my verdict. It's going to be costing you a decent amount of coins. I know a lot of you guys are not the fan of this whole, you know, Dennis Rodman thing. You think it costs way too much coins, which I do believe as well. But, you know, whoever wants to complete it wants to complete it. So let me know your guys' opinions if you guys think it's worth it or not. I broke down all the stuff for you guys. So anyway guys, that's pretty much it for this video. If you guys could drop a like and subscribe if you're new to the video, that'd be very appreciated. New to the channel, I meant. And I'll catch you guys next time in another video. Peace.